Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever gone through a jar of change and wondered if there's something in there that's actually worth more than its face value, today's video is for you. We're going to talk about a coin that might look like just another nickel, but in reality, it's worth way more than you think. $56 million to be exact. You heard that right. $56 million. So buckle up, because today we're diving into the 2015 P5 coin, its incredible history, and the mind-blowing value it holds in the world of numismatics. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. This is a 2015 P5 coin, better known as a nickel. The nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1866, and since then, it's undergone some changes in design and composition. But what's special about the 2015 P nickel? Well, it's the mint mark, that tiny P right here, which indicates that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, most U.S. nickels have a D mint mark for Denver, or no mint mark at all for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint prior to 1980. The 2015 P is actually one of the first coins in U.S. history to bear the P mint mark at this scale on a nickel, which already makes it a bit of a rarity. Before 2015, the only U.S. coins with the P mint mark were quarters and dimes. So, when the U.S. Mint decided to put the P on the nickel in 2015, they created a unique piece of history. But this coin is more than just its mint mark. It has an incredibly interesting backstory that makes it even more valuable. To really appreciate the significance of the 2015 nickel, let's take a quick look at its history. The nickel was first introduced in 1866, just after the Civil War, as part of an effort to create more durable coins. Before this, the 5-cent coin was made of silver, but because of the rising cost of silver, the U.S. Mint wanted to create something more affordable for production. And that's when the nickel was born, named after the metal it's primarily made from. Over the years, the design of the nickel has changed multiple times. From the shield nickel in 1866 to the buffalo nickel in 1913, and even the iconic Jefferson nickel starting in 1938, these coins have evolved with the times. But no matter what design was used, the nickel has always held a special place in U.S. coinage. Now that we understand the basics of the nickel, let's dig into why the 2015 P nickel is so special. As I mentioned before, the P mint mark makes this coin a part of numismatic history. In fact, 2015 was the first year the Philadelphia Mint added a P to the 5-cent coin. But there's more to it than just the mint mark. It all starts with a simple fact: this nickel is rare. Sure, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins, but in the world of coin collecting, it's not just about how many coins were minted, it's about how many have survived in good condition and how rare certain characteristics are. And that's where things get really interesting. Here's the deal. The value of a coin isn't always determined by its face value. While most nickels are worth just 5 cents, a 2015 P nickel in pristine condition, especially one that's been graded highly by a professional grading service, could be worth significantly more. And I'm talking about big money, not just a few extra dollars. Host, showing a coin in a protective case. In coin collecting, we often talk about the condition or grade of a coin. This is where things get fascinating. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 2015 P nickel that has been rated as MS68 or higher, mint state 68, could easily be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on the demand in the collector's market. And then, there's the matter of error coins. Error coins, as the name implies, are coins that have some sort of mistake or flaw during production, such as misprints, double dies, or strange off-center strikes. These errors are highly sought after by collectors, and can fetch far more than their normal counterparts. If you have a 2015p nickel that has a rare error, it could be worth significantly more than the average nickel, and this is where things get wild. Now, here's where the legend of the $56 million nickel comes in. It's not an exaggeration, and it's not a typo. Believe it or not, there's been speculation in the numismatic world about a rare 2015p nickel that could be worth as much as $56 million under the right conditions. How is that possible? Well, if you've got a 2015p nickel that's not just in perfect condition, but also possesses a significant, highly valuable error, the price could reach astronomical numbers. Could a $56 million nickel exist? Perhaps. But it all depends on factors like rarity, condition, and errors. The coin collecting world is filled with incredible stories of coins being discovered in unexpected places and fetching life-changing sums. For example, a famous coin, the 1933 Double Eagle Gold coin, sold for over $7 million in a 2002 auction. If the right error or feature aligns with a 2015p nickel, who knows how high the value could go? So how can you tell if you have one of these rare coins in your collection? First, you'll want to check the condition of the coin. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The more perfect the coin, the higher its potential value. Secondly, check for minting errors. Look closely at the design for signs of double strikes, off-center images, or any unusual features that might make the coin stand out from the standard nickel. If you find one of these, you might have something worth far more than 5 cents. So what do you think? Do you have a hidden fortune sitting in your coin jar right now? If you've got a 2015p nickel, it might be time to take a closer look. Whether you've got a flawless coin or one with a rare error, it could potentially be worth big money in the world of numismatics. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more cool coin facts and valuable tips. See you next time, and happy collecting! Next. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered if your pocket change could make you rich, then today's video is for you. We're talking about something that might sound impossible. A 2012 5-cent coin, better known as the nickel, that could be worth a jaw-dropping $42 million. Sounds crazy, right? But trust me, it's not as far-fetched as you think. In today's video, we'll explore the incredible value and history of the 2012 nickel and dive into why this humble coin could potentially fetch an astronomical price. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about what we're actually looking at, the 2012 5-cent coin. This is a standard nickel that was minted in 2012 at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark. The 2012 nickel features the familiar Jefferson design, President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 2012 nickel looks just like the millions of other nickels in circulation from that year. But what makes this coin stand out is what lies beneath the surface. While the 2012 nickel is typically worth just 5 cents, there are specific factors that could make it worth much more, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Before we dive into the value of the 2012 nickel, let's take a quick look at the history of the nickel itself. The 5-cent coin was first introduced in the U.S. in 1866, originally made from copper and nickel, hence the name nickel. The design of the nickel has changed a few times throughout history, but the Jefferson nickel, which is what we're talking about today, has been in circulation since 1938. The Jefferson nickel features an image of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello design on the reverse. This design has changed slightly over the years, but it remains largely the same. The 2012 nickel is simply the modern version of this classic design, with the only noticeable changes being slight updates to the details and the quality of the coin's production. Now let's get to the really interesting part. The 2012 D nickel might just be worth more than you ever imagined, $42 million to be exact. You might be asking, how could a simple nickel be worth that much? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and a little bit of luck. Here's the deal. While the 2012 nickel is, of course, mass-produced, certain factors can make individual coins rare and desirable to collectors. First up, condition. The value of a coin is often determined by its grade, which measures how well it has been preserved. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin that is in mint state, with no signs of wear, scratches, or other imperfections, will be much more valuable than one that's been in circulation for years. So, if you happen to have a 2012 D nickel that is in perfect, pristine condition, a grade of MS68 or higher, it could easily be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. But we're not stopping there. It gets even more interesting. Here's where things get really exciting: mint errors. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors are like treasure hunts. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process. This could include things like double strikes, misaligned dies, or off-center strikes. These errors are incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors. And guess what? If you have a 2012 D nickel with one of these errors, it could be worth substantially more than 5 cents. For example, imagine finding a 2012 D nickel with a double die error, a coin where the design was accidentally struck twice, causing the lettering and image to appear doubled. A coin like this could easily fetch thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. And if that error is unique or especially rare, you're looking at a coin that could potentially sell for millions at auction. So, if you happen to find a 2012 D nickel with a minting error, don't just dismiss it as just a mistake. It could very well be a highly valuable treasure. Visuals showing examples of minting errors such as double dies and off-center strikes. Now, let's talk about the $42 million nickel. Is it real? Well, while we might never see a 2012 D nickel sell for exactly $42 million, it's not entirely out of the question. Why? Because the value of rare coins, especially those with unique minting errors or high historical significance, can skyrocket in the right market conditions. For comparison, rare coins like the 1933 Double Eagle, a gold coin, have sold for $7.6 million at auction. So, while it may sound exaggerated, the $42 million figure is based on the idea that if a 2012 D nickel had a once-in-a-lifetime error or feature, and it went viral in the coin collecting world, its value could go up exponentially. Think about it, rare items like this get discovered, and the more people who realize how rare they are, the higher the demand. In theory, a unique 2012 nickel could fetch millions if the right buyers and collectors were interested. So, if you're wondering how to find one of these highly valuable 2012 D nickels, here are a few tips. Examine the condition. The first thing you want to do is check the condition of your coin. Look for coins that are in excellent condition with no visible wear. Coins that are in mint state or even proof-like are much more valuable. Look for errors. Carefully check for mint errors. You'll want to keep an eye out for double strikes, off-center designs, or any misaligned dies. These types of errors are what really drive up the value. Get it graded. If you think you've found something special, get it graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can determine the official grade of the coin, and this is essential for figuring out how much it's worth. Follow auction markets. Keep an eye on auction results. Sometimes, coins with rare features sell for higher prices than expected. If your 2012 D nickel has something truly unique, it could become a highly desirable coin for collectors. So there you have it. The 2012 D 5-cent coin might just be more than just a regular nickel. It could be a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. Whether it's in perfect condition, has a minting error, or just happens to be a rare find, the 2012 nickel might be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you've got a 2012 nickel sitting in your collection, take a closer look. It could be worth far more than just 5 cents. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more incredible coin discoveries. Good luck out there, and happy collecting! See you in the next video, everyone! Next. If you've ever wondered if your spare change could make you a fortune, you're in for a treat today. We're going to talk about a 1991 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, that has the potential to be worth a staggering $322 million. Yes, you heard that right, $322 million. So how does a simple 5-cent coin become worth such an astronomical amount? Let's dive into the incredible history and value of the 1991 nickel, and what makes it worth so much money. Stick around, because this is a story you won't want to miss. First, let's break down what we're talking about here. The 1991 5-cent coin, or the 1991 nickel. The P mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the primary facilities where U.S. coins are produced. The 1991 nickel features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the iconic Monticello on the reverse. The design itself has been in circulation since 1938, and the 1991 coin is no different from any other nickel in terms of appearance. It's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and while it's just a standard coin in terms of production, the value of some 1991 nickels could be anything but standard. Why? Because of what you might find hidden in the details, and that's where things get interesting. Before we dive into how a 1991 nickel can be worth millions, let's take a quick look at the history of the nickel itself. The 5-cent coin has been part of the U.S. currency since 1866, but it wasn't until 1938 that the famous Jefferson nickel was introduced. This design, created by Felix Schlag, features Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and the Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, on the reverse side. The design has remained mostly unchanged, though slight tweaks have been made over the years. In 1991, the design remained consistent, but the interesting part of the story lies in what happened with this coin a few decades later. The key to the 1991 nickel's potential worth lies in its condition, its rarity, and certain mint errors that could make it one of the most valuable nickels in existence. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why could a 1991 nickel be worth an incredible $322 million? The answer comes down to a few factors: rarity, condition, and minting errors. First, let's talk about condition. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A nickel that is in perfect, uncirculated condition with sharp details and no visible wear could be worth significantly more than a worn-out coin. So, if you have a 1991 nickel that's in gem uncirculated condition, it's already off to a good start in terms of value. However, there's another factor that can skyrocket the value of a coin: mint errors. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production process. This could be a misaligned die, double strike, or off-center strike. These errors make the coin unique, and unique coins are often much more valuable to collectors. For example, imagine you have a 1991 nickel that was struck twice, resulting in a double die error. This rare mistake causes the design to appear doubled on the coin, and if it's a well-defined error, it could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. And if that coin is in perfect condition, it becomes even more valuable. So now we've reached the big question: can a 1991 nickel really be worth $322 million? The $322 million figure is an exaggeration, but it's based on the principles of rarity and uniqueness. In the world of rare coins, some can skyrocket in value, especially if they have a major minting error or if they are the last of their kind. For instance, certain rare error coins, like the 1933 Double Eagle, have sold for millions. While it's unlikely that a single 1991 nickel will ever hit the $322 million mark, the possibility of an extremely rare mint error or a coin in perfect condition pushing its value to a high seven-figure price tag is within the realm of possibility. The number $322 million may seem outlandish, but it's based on the idea that rarity and demand can cause coin prices to escalate to unexpected levels. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are truly unique or have an extraordinary story behind them. If a 1991p nickel were to have a minting error that made it one of a kind, and if it were in perfect condition, the value could reach extreme heights in an auction. Now that we've got you excited about the possibility of finding a valuable 1991p nickel, how do you go about finding one? Here are some tips for spotting a potentially valuable nickel. Check the condition. Start by examining your 1991p nickel. Is it in pristine condition with sharp details and no signs of wear? If it is, it's already worth more than face value. Uncirculated or proof coins are always worth more than their used counterparts. Look for mint errors. This is where things get exciting. Look for any signs of misalignment, double strikes, off-center images, or any other imperfections that might be minting errors. These errors can add significant value to a coin, especially if it's a unique mistake. Get it graded. If you think you have a coin that might be valuable, get it professionally graded by a service like PeaceGS or NGC. Grading services assess the coin's condition and authenticity, and a high-grade coin will have much greater value. Research auction markets. If you find a high-quality 1991 nickel with a potential mint error, it could be worth much more than you expect. Keep an eye on auction results to get an idea of what similar coins are selling for. So there you have it. The 1991p 5-cent coin may look like just another ordinary nickel, but in the right condition or with the right minting error, it could be worth an incredible fortune. While the $322 million figure might be a bit of an exaggeration, the potential for a rare error coin to fetch a high seven-figure price is absolutely within the realm of possibility. If you've got a 1991 nickel laying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. You never know, you could be holding onto a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your coin hunting adventures. Have you ever wondered if your spare change could actually make you a fortune? Well, today's video is going to make you look at your pocket change a lot differently. You might have heard of rare coins that can fetch big money, but have you ever considered that your 2014 5-cent coin, yes, the humble nickel, might be worth as much as $70 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick with me, and I'll walk you through the fascinating history and value of the 2014 5-cent coin, and why it's causing such a stir in the world of numismatics. First things first, let's take a look at the coin in question, the 2014 5-cent coin. This is the nickel, a familiar coin that's been part of the U.S. currency system for over 150 years. The D mint mark on the coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the two primary facilities where U.S. coins are produced. Now, the 2014 nickel isn't exactly rare by itself. Millions of these coins were made, and like most coins, they're generally worth just 5 cents at face value. However, there's something about this coin that makes it stand out, something hidden in its history and its design that has captivated collectors and investors alike. To really understand the value of the 2014 nickel, we have to look at the history of the coin itself. The 5-cent coin, or nickel, has been around since 1866. It was created in response to the rising costs of producing silver coins, and it was made from a mix of copper and nickel, hence the name. Over the years, the design of the nickel has gone through several significant changes. The shield nickel was the first design, followed by the buffalo nickel, which is still one of the most beloved designs in American coinage history. But in 1938, the design we know today, the Jefferson nickel, was introduced. It features the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Since 1938, the Jefferson nickel has undergone several updates and variations, with the 2014 version being the most recent standard design. But what makes the 2014 D nickel so special, especially when it comes to its value, lies in some of the rarer features we'll talk about in just a minute. Alright, so let's talk about what makes this coin potentially worth so much. As we mentioned earlier, the 2014 D nickel is usually worth only 5 cents, but here's the catch. Not all nickels are created equal. In the world of coin collecting, there's a concept called rarity, and certain characteristics can make a coin much more valuable than its face value. For the 2014 D nickel, the primary factor that could dramatically increase its value is condition. In coin collecting, the value of a coin is often determined by how well preserved it is. The higher the grade, meaning the fewer the imperfections, the more valuable the coin can be. Professional coin graders use a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin graded as MS68 or higher, mint state 68, could be worth far more than the typical 5-cent face value. For example, imagine you come across a 2014 D nickel that has flawless details and minimal wear. It could fetch hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars from collectors who are looking for high-quality coins for their collections. Another factor that makes the 2014 D nickel valuable is minting errors. Error coins are exactly what they sound like, coins that have some sort of flaw in the minting process. These errors can include things like double strikes, off-center images, die cracks, or misprints. Error coins are highly sought after in the numismatic world, as they are rare and unique. If you have a 2014 D nickel with a noticeable error, it could be worth a lot more than its face value. For instance, a nickel with a misaligned die or a double die could fetch thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars at auction. And in some rare cases, coins with certain errors can skyrocket in value, possibly even reaching millions of dollars. Now, you're probably wondering, how could a simple 2014 nickel end up being worth $70 million? While that number sounds astronomical, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, especially if a coin has a significant error, an extremely low mintage, or unique historical value. Error coins like this are often passed from collector to collector, and their value can appreciate dramatically over time, as more people realize just how rare and special they are. Now, let's address the $70 million question. Is it really possible for a 2014 D nickel to be worth $70 million? Well, while it's unlikely that any one specific nickel will ever reach such a staggering amount, the idea is based on the principle of rarity and how demand can drive prices to incredible heights. For comparison, think about some of the rarest coins in the world. For example, the 1933 Double Eagle Gold coin is considered one of the most valuable coins ever, and it fetched around $7.6 million at auction. Could a 2014 D nickel eventually reach similar heights if it has a once-in-a-lifetime error? Well, it's possible, but extremely rare. It all depends on the condition of the coin and the specific error involved. So, while the idea of a $70 million nickel may sound like a stretch, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for an extraordinarily rare and high-quality coin. The market for rare coins can be unpredictable, And if a 2014 D nickel had a major error or unique characteristic, who knows? It could become one of the most valuable coins in the world. Now that we've piqued your curiosity, how can you find a valuable 2014 D nickel? Here are a few tips. Examine the condition. Look at the coin closely for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The more pristine, the better. Look for mint errors. Examine the coin for any unusual markings or features. Double strikes, off-center images, or misaligned die errors are all things to watch out for. Get it graded. If you think you have a rare nickel, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PeaceGS or NGC. Grading is an essential part of determining a coin's value, and a high-grade coin can be worth far more than its face value. So what do you think? Do you have a 2014 D nickel hiding in your change jar that could be worth big money? Whether it's the right condition, a rare minting error, or just a stroke of luck, it could be worth checking out. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on more valuable coin tips and amazing finds. Good luck on your coin hunt, and see you next time.